Well, hi there. Well, I don't have a lot to say today except for a lot of banging going on around here. But, you can, always find, gosh, I don't even know what I was trying to think of now. Forgot, never mind. There's been a few, things that go along with, the way things happen to you in that respect. Oh, I was going to play guitar, but I'm not really inspired to do that right now. I was for a minute, but you know, this shirt right here, this is an old shirt. And I like it. When that's someone's pet name for you, even, that's even better. Regardless of, yeah, well, I'm getting to that. Roy, thank you. Okay, let's just say as you're out and about, see, there's so many things. There's the way that it's done. The average Joe public, yeah, I know about the nanotechnology, but that's the idea of it, whatever. But this is different. This is not they. You don't need the nanotechnology. I guess, for lack of a better term, your aura or your own frequency, whatever. I don't like the word aura, but it's no, I'm not. I'm not giving them too much credit. I mean, they're using a technology that's that's designed to aggravate people, and whatever. They, I mean, when you're being subjected to it, almost correct. What do you mean by vapors and doors? No, uh, I'm talking about your actual brain function, the frequency that everyone's brain has. It's that they're all different. You're unique in that respect, so they can focus you by using your frequency with with technology. They're once they have it, once they have your basically like an IP address. It's not actually an IP address, but it it's I can't think of the correct term right now, but it's used on your brain functions and your alpha and theta waves, and everybody's is different. And once they're able to access that, they can do it from anywhere. They don't have to be anywhere near you. Now, as far as it being from nanotechnology, where the receiver that they would want to use for that would be found, I don't know. But I'm not talking about using any receivers. I'm talking about you're the receiver. There's no there's no implants in your eyeballs. You don't have cameras in your eyes. There's none of that crap. That's their crap. They're trying to feed people that they can do a lot more than that they own you. Yeah, like they own you, but they don't own you. They have subjected you to technology that it doesn't make them powerful. It just gives them a way to harass you from afar, like a chicken, right? I mean, rather than accosting you to your face, they want to do it from blocks away, anytime they want, without other people being privy to it. But maybe 5G. I'm not sure it's just limited to the 5G network. Okay, or if it if that's where it stems from. But they the ability to 100,000 nanowires can fit on head of a hair. Yeah, yeah. I understand that. the nanotechnology part of it can be anywhere, but the V2K part and the auditory harassing, that's like their chief weapon. That's their chief weapon. And like I said, they can, they can, as much as that right there, that they can do it from anywhere in the world, as long, that they, as long as they know your frequency. But I'm not going to sit here and look for nanobots, right? That's not going to happen. Or blame it on nanobots. It's not the technology that's the bad part. It's the people that are using it. That's what I'm getting at. I mean, just like with most technologies, they initially had a purpose, like the laser was intended for just, for communication, and maybe later applied to medicine, but it's in its nature that it's a weapon, just like the V2K and the extreme low frequency, and the neural monitoring. They're using it, it can be used for good, but they're not using it for good, and it's prolific now. It's not like it's the genie's out of the bottle and you can't put it back in. Well, from some of the research that I've went after, they can focus it on your organs. They can focus your heart, your lungs, whatever. They can damage you with it. They can make you appear on whatever level they want it. Like, just trying to give you a little bit of a scenario. But let's say you're sitting in your living room or wherever you're sitting, and they can use it. They can use it to see where you're at through whatever monitoring device they're using, and they can focus on different areas. They can make you heard in a certain place if they want to, or it's a beaming technology. It's on a frequency wavelength. Some of the V2K devices that are shown in patents are laser weapons. They're invisible laser, basically. And the frequency that they run on in the microwave range is, well, microwaves aren't good for you. You're supposed to stay, 6 feet away from your microwave. Well, if someone's focusing a microwave beam at your head or your chest, it's causing damage on a cellular level. Yes, it has been taking place for quite some time. It says basically the criminal element have been subjecting citizens to, with any, well, yeah, with any technology, technique, and tactics available through the age of info. Well, okay, let's just say, okay, the national security agencies in the country, or whatever country you're in, created this, as a surveillance tactic. Yeah, well, that's fine and dandy for them when it's confined to their discretion, and it's for you would hope, um, uh, being used in, in a just fashion, not just random attacking people with, with these devices, because they're everywhere, and you're picked out by not so good people that are not, not a legal entity or whatever. Now, if you want to go into the aspect that your freedom, and your right to exist and have your privacy, well, there's not a lot of things private anymore. I mean, nah, you can't walk out in the street without being, picked up by a security cam in front of a building, or on a pole at a stoplight, whatever. Or can't go into a grocery store without being surveyed. But they're doing that to protect themselves. They're not doing that to assault you personally. See, there's your dilemma. Well, they're using it to protect themselves, but these people aren't using these technologies to protect them. Now, the B2K stuff, it's not designed for anything other than to gain control, or to use as a control device or as a weapon, an auditory weapon. I mean, there's no there's no practical application for this technology for good, if you get what I mean. Or shall I say, for anything other than being discreet and not having people know what you're doing. Um, what did you say here? Well, whether it's overrated or not, they're using more than one tactic, and more than one technology. They're not just, uh, adhering to one finger on the prong of these surveillance technologies and the tactics, and the ease of access for the public. But the real problem is that it's being hush hushed, and not not to be talked about. You get what I mean? Not to be not to be what, for lack of a better term, um, uh, not to be. I can't think of the word I want to say here, but um, you know, grandiose, you know, made to be so wonderful, like you said, giving them more credit than they deserve. Well, they don't deserve credit for it. They deserve they deserve to be in trouble for doing it. It's not. I'm not trying to give them credit. I'm not trying to, you know, put them on a pedestal. Yay, they can gang stalk you. No, no, I'm not making it more grandiose than it is. It's 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 an attack on a groups of people by stalking on, and they pick single targets. It's maybe they have more than one target at the time, but there's, you know, once you're targeted, they round the clock target you and harass you. But now, if you wanted to control this, you know, the invisible aspect of it, well, it in the reality that they know that it's happening. It's not like, you know, there's not pages all over the place popping up saying we want to fight this, we don't like this, blah blah blah. Well, turn it off. The people that made it know what it's doing to the people that are, you know, being subjected to it by the people that are using it. Well, well, mask those frequencies so they can't use them anymore against the public. Make those frequencies, you know, FCC controlled or something. You know, they know the frequencies they're using. They can monitor those frequencies and stop it. If you understand what I mean, it's not like it's not like the people using the technology for clandestine means are the ones operating it, or are they? See, that's what I mean. They they know it. They know what frequencies they're using. They know how they're using it. So why can't you stop it? Um, so when it's said that it's, you know, it's an invisible weapon, you know, it's not invisible. It's detectable on 1,000 megahertz, 20 megahertz. Um, you know, it's detectable from any vantage point that it's being beamed from or used at. And whatever network they're piggybacking on. It's it's waves going through the air. So okay, by credit I mean it is nanotechnology via cell phone networks, AMD. It is not as hard as you would think to get a hold of. Oh, I understand that if that's what I've been saying. It's not that it's not hard to get a hold of. I mean, um, so it's almost as if they're saying, "Oh well, you know, we're doing this, you know, and we're not going to prosecute people for doing it because they don't." As far as I've, you know, I mean, do you hear about it on the media very much? No, because they pretty much want not to talk about it. And when you do talk about it, you're like somebody commented the other day that this is your brain on drugs. Well, if this is my brain on drugs, I'm glad I'm not on drugs because uh, because it's not fun for you. Yeah. Um, yeah. Um, as far as when it started and how it progressed for the targeted individual, such as myself, um, that the initial point is not going to make a difference. It's the why and the who and the how and the obvious wanton and feeling of being able to get away with anything they want to target you and slander your name and harass you and demean you. That's why they use it. But the initial reason they might have started targeting you can be varied. It's not like it's just gonna. I don't think you're gonna be walking down the street randomly and, oh, hey, gang stalkers say we're gonna start targeting this guy because we saw him. No, there's they have a reason. They feel they have something to gain from it, or but yeah, well, Rick, I'm not drawing anymore after what happened on there. Thanks a lot, with me, and I'm not happy with that anymore. Sorry, but yeah, thanks for coming in here. Um, the the hardest part with finding out it's happening to you, and then researching it and finding the technologies that they're using and how they're using them. Well, to do that, I basically used cause and effect and what little knowledge I have of science, which I'm not going to comment about that, but um, when you have when you have a lot of things that were happening for you, in your life, and all of a sudden those things get uh, skewed, whatever, for lack of a better word, or when let's just say, like, Cross Comics just came in here, and I used to be part of the art community, sort of. Um, and the people gang stalking me are saying that my artwork is theirs. I never did any of it. It's not mine. Just like with my music, they're trying to claim that they own me, like they're your owners. Well, they don't own me. They don't own me. They're not going to own my work. But that's not what I'm talking about today. But um, when they start hacking your computer, and then uh, grabbing video or whatever from it, or whatever information they get off of it, and start to try to affect your, let's say, your livelihood, which mine is my disability basically, but they've tried to affect that, and to claim that I'm a liar. It's always I'm a liar. I'm lying to them. Well, I don't owe them anything, and I'm not lying to them. They're lying to you about me if they're talking to you about me. I don't have any agenda, that I'm proliferating with other people to, to attack these people. They're attacking me. Um, that goes hand in hand with being a targeted person, targeted individual by gang stalkers. Um, with the use of of neuromonitoring and V2K, they'll probe every part of your life they can find, or anything through your social media, through your history. They'll probe everything. It's like they're anal probing your mind or whatever. Sorry about the anal word, but anyway. It's like someone said the other day, it's a microscope that they use to, excuse me, got an itch, subject you to, and use it to discredit you. So that's what the tactics with my artwork were, and the tactics with my music are. Uh, with the credibility about that I was in the Navy, they say, "Oh, he never was in the Navy." I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. That's why I got a DD 214, and that's why I don't that stuff isn't real. Um, in the actual sense, why they started targeting me, I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore because that's not who I am. And I can't imagine what they feel, if they do feel, they gain by degrading other people. I just don't get it. I don't get it. It's not a joke, like some of them act like it is. Your life isn't a joke, and you don't have to be ashamed of who you are because these people are trying to shame you. Uh, I'm just saying these are the tactics that they've used, like with the street theater and the the calls to random people or about you, and basically as you, or impersonating you, um, impersonating your relatives, even dead ones. Um, the hacking they do to your social media, like I've said before, I deactivated my other Twitter account because of this. And let's see. I started a new one, but I rarely go on there since you know, I don't know. Never mind. I think I got an eyelash in my, but anyway, enough about that. The the objective, right? The objective isn't always the same for every target. Um, because there's probably different ends to justify their means. They might try and play the religion card like you're an atheist, or they might try to play the sexuality card like you're or a racist card, or if they can, they'll try and play all those cards. They'll throw every card they have on the table, like 52 pickup, and try to macerate you, like from this angle, from that angle, like you see the hyena that's being accosted by the 7 or 8 wild dogs, the dingoes. And that's Nano, yeah. But yeah, they it's on the web. What's on the web? Well, giving these dummies props. Well, look. If you've been harassed for 3 years and nothing seems to come with it, and no one's getting in trouble for it, but you know, uh, but you're being demeaned, and I got arrested once because the jerks just they make up stuff. I was supposed to be harassing them, and they were harassing me. I'm like, come on, really. Um, the with the V2K, as I can hear them, they're saying, "Oh, he's slandering me. He's slandering me." I'm not slandering you. I'm telling you. I'm telling people what you're doing to me. I'm not slandering you. You're you're the one that's talking crap about me. I'm not even mentioning your name. Um, but I'm beyond that now, because they don't have any problem saying my name and chasing me around every corner and through the field and through the woods. So if I can bring them out into the middle of the parking lot, fine then. So they aren't hiding behind a telephone pole or whatever. But with within the last 6 hours, um, I've been called son of a bitch 100,000 times, probably, or every other derogatory slur they can think of about me. It's 24/7. You guys don't hear it. You're not going to hear it here, sitting here talking to you, but I'm hearing it right now. Yeah, that sounds crazy, but that's what they do. And that's what V2K does. They can they can speak directly to you without other people hearing it. Using an Arduino, yeah. So you're saying that they planted a device in your home using an Arduino. They're using an Arduino against you in your home. Is that what you're saying, Roy? Or is that what you're saying? I'm sorry. Sorry for the dead air there. I was just trying to read what was some of the chat. But don't be my hair is all a mess. Long hair now. I used to have short hair a little. It was short. Well, I've had it even longer before, but it's grown because I haven't bothered it with it. It's long. It goes down over my eyes if I let it. But I've been pulling it back. Now, I hear a lot of people that have talked about being organized stalking, being organized stalked. How they'll say that they they know them. They know the people that are doing it. Some of them. I have the same story. I know some of the people that are doing it. I have a pretty good idea of a lot of people who are doing it. And I even have proof of some of them, but that's not the point. The point is even if I report it, it remains as full speed ahead. It doesn't seem to matter. That's the problem. Yeah, scalar waves technologies. And like I said, Q-Wave has uh, something called a defender that you can get that is supposed to block some of those waves or all of those waves. But I haven't heard enough testimonies from people that are using it as to whether it works or not. Now, I've heard some say that it doesn't work. I've heard some say that it does work, but that's just it. You have to know what they're doing to you to to defend against it. I myself, I see people building metal rooms, and whatnot. Now, whether that would work or not, I'm not so sure, because that to me would just that would amplify the scalar waves inside of that structure, like a Faraday cage. But as I say, you would have to you would have to try it and have it to know for sure. No, I'm not gonna go send to Japan for some half-inch titanium to be made, or whatever, or some to box myself into, right? So, but that doesn't protect you when you leave the house, because And you hear all the I see all this. Oh, your need your tinfoil hat for this. I'm wearing no tinfoil hat. Not wearing no tinfoil hat. But I will tell you, the people that treat it as it's a joke, or they'll say, "Oh, you're crazy. You're nuts," or the things you're saying are crazy. That right there, those statements to me mean that either they lack empathy or they know it's happening and they're just trying to make you look like a jerk. And if they keep arguing their point that attacks you, like there's something wrong with you, which is a tactic of the gang stalker, slanderer, slash harasser, spy, whatever community, that they proliferate their idiom between, you know, them and other people. It's not like they don't talk to them about you. Yeah, that's pretty true. Today's criminal element smiles in your face at the grocer's car wash and lives in your neighborhood and wait to steal everything from you by waiting when you are a senior or alone. Physiology of the human anatomy. Yeah, well, I, I can't say it's every single human doing it, but it but if there are groups of 20 people stalking a single person, and you know they'll move, and it's like that's all their lives, that's all they do, then that to me is a career criminal. I mean, you saying you're deciding your career is going to be to do this gang stalking thing and whatever, work mobbing, whatever you're doing at it. um but the the overall scope of how many people are or could be involved. I mean, the odds are that for every one person that speaks up about it, there are 100 more. You get what I mean? By for every person that's willing to speak up about it, since you are ridiculed for talking about it, there's 100 more saying, "Oh, I'm not going to talk about these guys stalking me." And plus, that is part of their tactic. They tell you not to talk about it, or it'll get worse for you. So that for me is just like, there's the red flag. There's the red flag. So, but by all means, research it. Research the V2K and the nanotechnology it, and get yourself a Q wave if you feel like you're being targeted. I haven't got one yet. I'm gonna get one probably. Um, as if the money comes in that I can use it for, right? Uh, but well, I, I have got to tell you, there's a lot of information about it. It's not random. You can type in Google yourself and just type in gang stalking and type in gang stalking tactics and technologies, and you'll get 150 pages to look at and mull through and find what parts pertain to you personally. What because it's like it's so invasive on the internet now. It's like but it's not being, it's not being broadcast mainstream. It's not being broadcast mainstream. It's not like they talk about it like they talk about, domestic violence or whatever. I mean, or just stalking in general. I think maybe that's the problem, is that it it's not like it's one person stalking another person. It's a bunch of people stalking one person and trying to ruin that person. It's like, there was a whistleblower, I don't know, from Seattle or whatever, that I saw that he was recruited by them, right? And he turned his back on him. Now he's a TI because he turned his back on him. But like I said, I never intend and never will join those people. I mean, they targeted me, and then within, I don't know how, I can't remember how long it was before I was actually targeted, and they tried to get me to join their group. I'm like, no way. There's no way. That's never going to happen. And through the V2K, he's always saying, oh, he's our partner. He's our business partner. I'm no partner to these people. I'm no partner to them. The mouthpiece, as I call him, whose voice they use, whether it's one of them using the machine and their machine at any given time modulating their voices, mine or his, to say that I'm partners with them, and that I'm saying that I've given them all, rights to my art and my music. I haven't done any of that, and I never intend to, and never intended to in the first place, to even be involved in it. But well, yeah, well, I'm certain it's not that I'm implanted with nanotechnology. I'm certain of that. Because the technology that I've researched has no need of nanotechnology. This isn't like the Elon Musk neuromonitoring, where you have to have an implant. There's no need for an implant. There's no need for an implant with the V2K. There's no need for an implant. It's all done over. It's wireless. There's no wires. There's no. Anyway, but I digress there. The technology is rampant, though. It's not like they're once someone has it, they'll give it. If they recruit you, they'll get it to them. That's what I've gathered from it, is if you become part of them, they're going to make sure you have what you need to do what they're doing. But I think I've rambled enough for today. I played guitar for a minute, but I wasn't inspired enough to really do anything. The main reason I came in here was because, just to keep ahead of it. I don't know if I'm making any difference to it, but I feel like the more people that hear about my horrible experience with it, that it could help somebody, but um, maybe in the future. But but as far as the nanotechnology, I'm sure there's aspects of the nanotechnology that might pertain to some, but in this case, I'm not speculating that I've been implanted by a nanotech or any of that crap. Um, uh, well, the thing about it is, maybe I enjoy coming on here and talking about it because when I'm talking about it, they aren't speaking to me so much using the V2K when I'm talking to you live on YouTube. So I will have to say that I appreciate you guys for coming in here, and I'm gonna call it a day. Have a good night.